Hello everyone. Today we'll be checking out the Dewbauchee Rapid GT based on the Aston V8 Vantage. Now this particular car was produced from 2005 all the way to 2017. So even for back then it was produced for a very long time. But with that said, you can only get this car through other players or to me if you're interested in it and you really want this car. Um, However, you do see this on the street a lot and you cannot claim it for free. So in order to get it, you have to purchase it for about $135 thousand dollars to the LS CarMate through other players or myself. But with that said, the customization here is pretty limited, but what you do get is still pretty good. As you can see, I already went through the options really fast, while I was talking about the car itself. But you can replicate other higher spec models like the S and the V12 model itself. Even though the engine model is a little strange, it could be a V12, but who knows? I'll show you that in a bit. And for the suspension, you can get this very low if it wasn't low enough already. But I'd rather just do a street suspension personally. I feel if I go any lower, it would look ridiculous. So let's see what else there is. And for the wheels, this is probably the last part there is to this car. And this section could really make or break the car because, it's the wheels, it's a big part of the car. But again, there's a lot of different types of rims or wheels that look good on this car. So even if you want to do something aftermarket, it's still going to look very tasteful. And it all depends on what model year you're trying to replicate. If you want to do the 2005 to roughly 2010 model years, you're going to have an easy time. Especially with the 5 spokes. But again, it's all up to you. This car actually did come with 7 spokes as well, or 6 spokes. But I'm just gonna put the high fives. These are versatile, and they just look so good on this design on this car. I've used this wheel before on many other cars, and it just works. But as you can see here, if you want to go aftermarket, you have plenty of good options. So I'm just gonna put this. And for the wheels, instead of making it an alloy, I'm just gonna make it a little darker, just like the real car. To clarify, not all of them were a darker color. Some of them were polished. But anyway, all that's left for me to do here real quick is just to show you the window tint. And it looks pretty good. I always recommend the light smoke because it's the most realistic. But that's all up to you, it's your custom build. But with that said, I'm gonna give you a closer look, so just give me a sec here. For a car that's been in the game for about 13 years, the detail is still pretty decent. However, the texture quality isn't really the best. It's still pretty strange, but I'm sure many of you can overlook that. But the rest of the car is well modeled. The interior has been seen before in other cars such as the 9F or the Obey 9F, among others. But it fits the car very well, and I'd say it's also versatile. And it just works. The trunk right here is pretty small, as you'd imagine. You can't really fit much back there, but it's cool that it's there. Here's another view. Has a manual right there, pretty nice. But overall, I mean, the styling is great. And then on to the performance. The driving experience is pretty good. I really cannot complain about it. It does feel pretty beefy. For a tourer, it just handles very well. I'd say the top speed is decent as well. I cannot complain. It is adequate, but however, the car itself is not really the best top performer. So if you just want a nice sports car to drive around, I mean, this car is perfect. Even if the handling is questionable at times, as you can see right there, if you practice a bit, you'll get a hang of it, and it's just a delightful driving experience. and I really cannot complain much about this car at all, especially for the price of $132,000. It's just great. And just look at how it performs on this corner right here. As I said, once you get the hang of it, it just does a flawless job. But anyway, guys, that's all I got to say. If you enjoyed my review, please stay tuned for more, and have a good day.